I'm Aaron Shames. I'm a CEO and founder of Mintstakeshare. My first crypto project was Bomb Money, but that was the first project that really gained a user base. And since then, built a lot of things to help the Bomb Money ecosystem. And, I've got a lot of guys that have been working with me since the Bomb Money days. I got a lot of guys that are helping out, looking to grow the team just like I did with Bomb Money. As we need resources, we'll hire. With an ROI DApp, guys are going to be earning passive income. So one of the most important things, or probably the most important thing, is you have big liquidity. So when guys want to take some profits, it's not going to kill the token price. We have 75% of all BNB that comes in instantly gets added as liquidity. It's just really growing the liquidity. When new money flows in, instead of all that money flowing directly into that trading pair, pushing the price up, we got money equally flowing to the trading pair and towards minting. That's the idea, right? Whichever one's cheaper is what people should be doing. Right now, swapping's cheaper. So that's where money should be flowing in, is through swaps. But then as we hit that next mint price, when minting becomes cheaper, those new funds are going to flow into mint, which is building liquidity rather than pushing the price up. So what you're going to get is you're going to get a token that's not going to rocket to the moon, but it's going to have ridiculous liquidity so that people are able to cash out when they want to, right? That's the whole purpose of an ROI DApp. If you imagine, if we had all of that 150 BNB that was minted went straight into the pair, the price would have mooned, but these two guys that just sold, they would have just absolutely crushed the whole project. Right. Just to tell everyone just kind of the basics of how this works for anybody new. The first thing you should do is grab a referral link from your favorite influencer, head over to the site, make sure they get credit for it. But the key thing that you want to look at is this right here. You want to see, is it cheaper to get in by swap or is it cheaper to get in by mint? Because we had those two sales that you mentioned, swap is cheaper right now. So you're going to get like almost 40% more tokens by swapping. So when the pair price is higher than the mint price, it's going to say the opposite. It's going to say mint is cheaper. A couple extra things to take into consideration though is that minting, there's no slippage. Minting, there's no taxes. So when you buy the token, there is a 3% buy tax. And if you're buying a large amount, you're not going to get the exact current market rate, right? The price moves with the trade. So, it's slippage. So essentially, if the ratio is close, you pretty much always want to mint, especially if you're doing a bigger position. So, you can just click to go over to Pancake Swap. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build in the swap right there, right? So I've done that in previous projects where I've just had it so you can swap for the token, right? Kind of exactly how this mint works. We'll just have the swap built in right on the site without using Flues. Flues was an easy option to integrate because I didn't even have this swap page before. It was just literally mint, stake, share. But I was like, well, guys are going to want to be able to swap in and out of the token. So to get in, you just want to come here, see what's cheaper, swap or minting, and then you head over to stake. Another innovation of the platform, the way it works is that you're earning 2% a day with the amount ticking up every block. You can interact with the staking contract as often as you want without any penalty. But when you go to claim out, you're going to get half as much as you would get compounding. Put simply, works out to you can get 1% a day if you're collecting or 2% a day if you're compounding. So I got a spreadsheet that I worked on to kind of figure out the numbers and see what was going to make sense. I'm going to share that with the community after I clean it up a little bit. It kind of just shows like, if you do only collecting, this is how much you're going to pull out after, every day. So after 30 days, 90 days, 6 months. If you do half and half, this is what it's going to look like. Or if you do like 80% compounding, I think people are going to be surprised to see that, if you're just looking at how much you're able to get out of the contract, it doesn't take long for you to do better while compounding. It really doesn't make sense to just sit there and collect. It's in your best interest to compound. If you take a look at the chart, you can see, every time that we've faced a pullback, we've come right back from it, right? And it's, I guess a lot of that's because tokens are locked up, so people don't have the tokens to panic sell. But I think it's also because there's a lot of faith in what's going to happen with the project. And the referral system is really going to give this legs, I think. I'm genuinely happy those guys sold out. If anything was kind of bugging me in the back of my head was just once we get to 10, 15, 20 cents, these guys that bought, 500,000 tokens down lower, I know we have the liquidity to handle it, but it's something that you don't want to really see once, when the price keeps moving up. You don't want to see these whales get out at that point. So really genuinely happy that those guys, they had no plans of staking. They were just, buying it for a quick flip. So happy to see them out. You need those consolidation times. You need those dips for those guys to get out. Definitely healthy for that to have happened. Can't wait to improve this, man. Like, there's nothing that brings me more joy than implementing features that people suggest and generally making the ecosystem better any way that we possibly can. Yeah, pretty much all aspects of the roadmap right now just involve getting on a second chain, and it'll be done very strategically, and it'll be done in a way that only benefits everybody holding Mintstakeshare token. It's not going to be a separate launch on a different chain that's going to, split the liquidity and nothing like that. It's going to be something where it's going to expand the audience. It's going to expand our reach, and the token is going to be bridgeable. So if somebody's dumping on BNB chain, just bridge it over to the other chain and sell there, right? Like it's gonna be an arbitrage situation where everything's gonna even out. So it's more liquidity, more eyes, more audience, and it's not gonna have any of the negatives that are typically associated with launch it on the second chain. One thing that's really important to me is a lot of people have talked about sustainability and capping wallets or different mechanics that might prevent someone from leeching, too much out of the ecosystem. And while I am open to making changes, like one of my biggest concerns is I don't want people to have bought a token or bought into the protocol with a certain way of thinking it works, and then all of a sudden you switch it up on them. That's not fair in my opinion. Any changes that are implemented for sustainability will be something that is broadly viewed as the right thing to do, where people are all on board with it. The only guys that were actually intending to leech off the ecosystem are the ones that are not going to like those changes. But it's something that we're going to be very careful about. It's going to be very well thought out. You got any questions? No questions are ever off limits. So, pop in the TG and ask away. I think it's mainly the minting system that we have that really focuses on big liquidity as opposed to, just a rocketing token. Again, if we had all of these inflows go straight into that trading pair, the token would have rocketed way higher than it is right now. You got to give credit where credit's due. Drip did a lot of things right. I don't mind to say that, hey, I looked at the design of their faucet page when I was building this out. Or, some of the mechanics, I realized Drip did so well because of the referral system, because influencers kept sharing it, right? Well, we got to have a winning referral system. Because everyone that's sharing their links, right? We want them to get full credit for all the work they're doing to help the project out, right? So we want to make sure that they're getting credit for those referrals. And as much as I encourage everybody to share and use those links, you're not at a big disadvantage if you're not doing that. Just like you said about Drip, right? Anybody that entered in the first 6 months did amazing, right? So that's what we're looking at here too. If you're in the first 6 months, you're going to make a killing. That's what we're aiming for. Really want anybody to get in at any point to do all right. But especially if you're getting in early, those first couple months, kind of a no-brainer. All the liquidity that's created via minting or with taxes from the token is immediately sent to the burn address. Like it doesn't even touch any other wallet. It's made and sent directly to burn. So, which actually you can kind of see right here. 99.77% in the dead address. If it wasn't for Drip, Mintstakeshare wouldn't exist, right? So like I said earlier, you got to give credit where credit's due. We did a lot of things right, and we try to learn from that and implement the things that worked and change the things that, we think could be improved. I definitely really want to improve things as best as I can. So a lot of people have asked for features like seeing, what they refer to as team members, like I guess your referrals, being able to see stats on that and being able to, gift a stake to, someone on your team and things of that nature. Like we can do all those things. And if that's what people want to see to, feel comfortable to bring more people in, then that's what we're going to do. The token contract is not upgradable, but the token contract does have some variables that can be changed, like taxes and some other small things. But the staking contract is fully upgradable. Without getting too technical, there's basically like a proxy contract. That's the one that everybody's interacting with. And I can change the actual implementation contract. So the one that actually controls what happens. So everybody's always interacting with that same proxy contract, but the logic behind the scenes can be updated. Simplicity is key. It's, I've learned a lot of lessons since I've been in the crypto space, and especially with Bomb Money, it was such a complex protocol that getting people to understand how to participate, just to understand things, was always a struggle. It's important to keep things really simple and easy to use. And I'm really quick to iterate, right? So I've had guys say, oh, I don't understand this, or this aspect of it could be displayed differently, or even just questions I get. If too many people ask the same question, I'm like, okay, the website's not doing a very good job explaining this. If somebody's, if everybody's asking the same question, right? So then I'll go and iterate on it and make it more clear. I've changed it a few times, but yeah, it's definitely, it keeps getting better.
So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you want to get started, I've left the link in the description below. Be sure to leave me some of your comments. Let me know what you guys think. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.